Start on your back in a constructive rest pose. The knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor, arms relaxed beside the body. Close your eyes and consciously let go of any effort in your body. Let go of any effort in your breathing. Let go of any effort in your mind. Release any judgment about whether you're doing the practice correctly. Soften the face and the eyes. Soften the shoulders. Front of the chest and sternum melt. Let the rib cage drop down into the mat. Let the spine rest on the floor. Taking a couple of slow, deep breaths, drop deeper into your body. Give yourself permission to stop. With each out-breath, your body becomes more deeply relaxed. Interlace your fingers gently and rest your palms directly over your solar plexus, thumbs pointing up towards your collarbones. Let your attention be concentrated on this part of the body, your power center, the source of your energy, personal will, and ambition. A relationship or a position for dear life, caught up in being right, or lost in habitual emotional patterns and stories. Having a strong physical core will help you tap into unwavering belief in yourself and your abilities, steadfast commitment to your values, and the inner drive to achieve your goals, even in the face of criticism or competition. Consciously breathe into that feeling of inner personal strength. Breathe into that feeling of empowerment. As you do so, let go of thoughts, attitudes, and behaviors that no longer serve you. Feel the energy shift in your belly. Feel more powerful within yourself. Allow this sense of inner strength to be your focus as you practice today. Move from the core. Taking a few more breaths here. Keeping your attention on the solar plexus. When you're ready, releasing your hands, curling the knees into the chest. Rock from side to side, massaging the lower back. Come to stillness, take a breath in, exhale and curl the nose towards the knees. Release the head down, let the feet find the floor. Take your block, place it in between the thighs, starting to move into bridge. Inhaling as you peel the tailbone up off the ground, lifting your hips towards the sky. Exhaling as you roll back down one vertebra at a time. As you inhale and lift, engage your glutes. Hug the block with your thighs. And then use your legs like brakes as you control the downward movement. Next time you lift, holding a long line from the shoulders to the knees. Releasing all the way back down, keeping the block in between the thighs and taking the hands behind the head, interlacing the fingers, thumbs pointing down towards the shoulders. Keeping the backs of the shoulders down on the ground and the pelvis level. Take your left elbow towards the left hip. Then come back through center, come to the opposite side. So all that is moving is the upper body, the pelvis, the legs remaining steady. Keep hugging the block in between your thighs. Back of the head, backs of the arms grounded. Come back to center. Take the block out from between your thighs and place it in your hands. Extend the arms and the legs out long. Flex the feet. Exhale as you bring the arms and the legs towards the ceiling. Place the block in between the feet and then release the legs down towards the ground on the diagonal, the arms overhead. Coming back into center, transferring the block back into the hands, reaching through the heels as you lower down to the ground. So using your abdominals to control the movement, trying to avoid momentum, only lowering the legs as low as you can without the lower back arching, maintaining control through the abdominals. Place the block on the floor. Stretch the arms and the legs out long, full body stretch. Hug the knees into the chest, catch hold behind the back of the thighs, starting to rock and roll along the length of the spine, pausing each time you lift up on the sitting bones, eventually finding your way all the way into boat pose. Drawing the legs in towards your body, lifting the shins up to parallel, the chest is broad, navel to spine. Release the feet, hands on the diagonal behind you, ground down, engage your glutes as you lift into reverse table. Inhale, let the buttocks touch down. Exhale as you lift up. Lowering down. Using all the strength in your arms and your legs to create that table-like effect. Lifting up one more time. And releasing your buttocks to the floor. Crossing your legs and finding your way over onto hands and knees. Place the block in between your thighs. Hands about shoulder distance apart. Moving through cat-cow. So inhaling as you open the chest, lift the sitting bones. Exhale as you press the floor away with your hands, round the spine, look to the belly. Moving at your own pace. Hugging the block in between your thighs. Neutral spine. Tuck the toes, float the knees an inch off of the ground, navel to spine. And then with as little movement through the upper body as possible, step one leg and then the other back into plank pose. Keep hugging the block in between your thighs. Exhaling, lifting the hips to the sky, downward dog. When you're ready, come forward into plank. And then lift the hips back up to the sky, downward dog. High plank pose, shoulders over the wrists. Release the knees. Take the block out And sit back on the heels, hands resting on the thighs, eyes closed. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths. Coming back into tabletop position, hands underneath the shoulders. Starting to move through cat-cow again. Feel the movement of the belly, the rib cage, the chest, the front of the pelvis. Come back to neutral. Tuck the toes, hover the knees. Strong through the core. Release the knees down to the ground. Extend the right leg back behind you, pointing the toes. Reach the left arm out as well. Weight even between left and right sides. As you exhale, curl nose and the knee towards one another. Inhale as you expand. So moving at your own pace, hugging everything in and up towards the midline. Extending out long and then releasing to the ground. Tuck the toes, walk the hands slightly out in front of you. Find your way into downward dog. Raise the right leg to the sky. Curl the right knee into the chest. Inhale as you extend. This time as you curl in, find the outside of the right tricep. Inhale to extend. Exhale, finding the left elbow. Lifting the leg one more time. And then floating the foot back to the floor. And release the knees. Take them wide, toes touch, child's pose. Let everything soften. Consciously breathe into that feeling of inner personal strength, that feeling of empowerment. When you're ready, come back up onto hands and knees and find a little side-to-side movement. So looking over one shoulder and then the other towards the hip. Try to keep the pelvis and the hips as still as possible, cinching in one side of the waist and expanding the other. Tuck the toes, hover the knees. Release the knees, untuck the toes, extend the left leg behind you, left thigh, left glute engaged. Right arm extends, palm facing inwards. The arm and the leg an extension of the core. Curling knee and the elbow towards one another. Expanding out long, following your breath. Curling in and pausing. Then extending and releasing. Walk the hands out in front, tuck the toes, up into downward dog. Taking a breath, floating the left leg to the sky, bending the left knee, drawing it through core plank. Inhale, sending it back and up. This time outside of the left tricep. Extending. Finding the right elbow. Extending the leg long and then releasing the foot to the floor. Release the knees. Toes touch, child's pose. Walk your hands in towards the knees. Swing the legs around to the side and extend the legs out in front of you. Find your way into boat pose, balancing on the edge of the sitting bones, engaging the legs, lifting them up to parallel or maybe even straight, reaching the fingertips beyond the hips, broad through the chest. Release the feet. Hands behind you, reverse table, engaging your glutes, hugging your thighs, drawing the heels in towards the body. Releasing your buttocks, reverse plank. The legs are long, pointing the toes, driving down through the heels as the hips lift. Releasing towards the floor, bending the knees. Hands extended out at shoulder height, palms down, tucking the tailbone under, rounding the spine, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Rest here in constructive pose. Take pause. Take your arms out into a T at shoulder height, palms facing upwards. Ground down through the soles of the feet. Lift your hips. Shuffle them a couple of inches to the left, and then let the knees fall over to the right. Take your head in the opposite direction if that feels appropriate for your neck. Bring the head and the knees back to center, feet to the floor. Lift your hips, shuffle them a few inches to the right. Draw the knees into the chest and let them fall over to the left. Both of your shoulder blades heavy and grounded. Allow this process of compression and release to unwind tension, not only in the spine but through the abdomen. Bring the head and the knees back to center, feet to the floor. Stretch the legs out long. Let the toes fall out to the side. And release the arms beside the body. Close down your eyes and let go of any remaining effort in your body. Feel the muscles becoming heavy, the connective tissues becoming lax, the skin that encases your entire body softening, melting, merging with your surroundings. Let the sounds around you recede into the background. Interlacing your fingers and gently resting your palms over your solar plexus, thumbs pointing towards your collarbones. Consciously breathing into the feeling of personal strength. You are strong, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You are stronger than you know. Silently repeat the following mantra to yourself. I stand in my power. Bathe in this feeling for a few moments. And release the hands beside the body and settle into stillness. Emerging from the deeper layers of your being, start to come back into your body. Feel the contact between your body and the ground beneath you. Feel the sensations of the clothes and the air on your skin. Invite a little mindful movement back into the fingers and the toes. And then when you're ready, open your eyes and begin to take in the light around you. Take your time as you integrate back into the world. Ready to go about the rest of your day with renewed energy, vitality, and joy.